Today, I'm Kenny Stahl, and you are watching a live stream. So hopefully this will be recorded and going up on my channel. I don't know yet, but right now I just started, so I'm gonna wait for some people to join. And once people start joining, I will respond to their comments and questions in the chat. So, how's it going? I did not have to go into work today, which is cool. I have like the opposite of overtime. I guess you could say I have undertime, right? That's a very bad joke. Um, so I didn't have to go into work today. Like, if you have overtime, your bosses are telling you like, hey, you got to come into work on Saturday on the weekends. You got to work a couple extra hours over. The job that I got is like they don't have enough stuff to do, and plus I just started, and some days are like, hey, you can go home a couple hours early. Like we're done for the day, so I don't have a full 8 hour shift. Today it was weird. The first time this has ever happened, they're like, hey, we don't have anything for you guys to do on Friday, so just don't come in. I'm like, what? Like, I've never heard of a place doing that. But okay, so no work for me today. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hopefully you're doing fine. Hopefully you're having a good day. Um, I have something which happened to me yesterday, which was at work at my job, which was very confusing for me, and I want to tell you the story because I'm still not sure exactly what happened. Uh, I had like a water bottle like this exact kind of water bottle with me at work, right? Because I'm doing all sorts of physical things, right? I need to stay hydrated while I'm doing all this stuff, lifting stuff, moving stuff, dealing with different parts that we deal with. Their car parts, actually. Um, and at the end of the day, it was time to leave, time to go home, and it was the water bottle was about this full, okay, and it's time to go. End of the shift. I grab my water bottle. It has about this much in there. I get in my car. I start driving home. I put the water bottle in the cup holder in the car, and then I decide to take a drink of it. And when I take a drink of it, I get a mouthful of rubbing alcohol, the clear alcohol that you use to wipe stuff and clean stuff, or put on and whatever, because we deal with that alcohol all the time at the job, because we got to wipe off the car parts, get all the dust off of it, and then they get painted. There's other things that we do with it, and so like I got a mouthful of alcohol, and it was very confusing because I feel like somebody intentionally did that to me, but the thing is, I'm not friends with anybody. I'm not close. So if it was somebody trying to prank me, someone trying to, like, that's just wrong. Like, I hope it wasn't a situation where somebody was trying to bully me. Someone was trying to be a jerk, being an asshole, and they put alcohol in my water. I don't know what happened, guys. I'm still confused. I gotta go talk to the bosses about it whenever I go in there because it could have been an accident. Maybe they needed a bottle to scoop out of like a bucket of alcohol or something, or we have barrels of alcohol. So that's a story. I thought I would begin with a story. What happened to me yesterday? Kind of confusing. Don't know what the hell was going on with that. I feel like somebody might have been just being an asshole, which I might have to report it to HR if that's the case. So anyway, with that being said, by the way, when I found out I was in the car, I took a drink of this, and I had like all of a sudden this weird taste in my mouth, a burning sensation almost, and I realized what was going on, and I didn't have anywhere to spit it out. I realized after the fact I could just spit it right out back out in the bottle, but what ended up happening was I just spit it right in my lap. So yeah, kind of a really frustrating ride home from work yesterday. Anyway, um, so how's everybody doing? It is kind of early where I'm at. By early, I mean normally I'm not here at this time of day and I don't get to record a video, but I thought I would start joining in, see what you guys have going on. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to say hi. Feel free to ask me things. So um, we got a way out of loneliness who left a comment saying hey. So I just want to say hi to you. I think that was from this stream. Sometimes when I start a stream in the chat, it still has comments left over from the last time. But It looks like you. I didn't see you comment that, but I see it now. So, um, 5 minutes in, we only got a few people. A little bit worried how this one's gonna go. I need more people to be a part of the stream in order to begin. So we could talk about a lot of different things. We could talk about any of the stuff I talk about on my channel, whether it's depression, loneliness, social anxiety, self improvement. We could talk about some deep stuff, or we could just talk about how we're doing. Whatever you guys really feel like doing. I really hope that wherever you're at in your life right now, whatever's going on, that you'll remember that there are things in your life that are going good, and you can't just overlook all the things that you have for yourself that you should be thankful for. And if you're not able to see that, that's something that you need to really, really try to do as much as you can, is to be able to figure out what type of mindset, what kind of attitude you have, and then if life isn't good for you, if you're struggling in life, a lot of times it is a matter of perspective. And once you begin changing your perspective and once you begin changing the beliefs that you have about yourself and your life, then things can just kind of get easier because you don't have to deal with, some of the thoughts that you might be having that are getting in your way. Excuse me a minute. Um, I just want to make sure, because I found that to be like one of the biggest problems that I've always had. Growing up, I've always had kind of a fear of what other people might think about me. So I'm always battling that social anxiety when it comes to talking to people and having friends or hanging out with others or whatever. If I would ever have to like get up and give a speech in front of the class when I was in school, social anxiety would get to me, the fear of what other people were thinking. And I think, just being able to train myself, being able to raise awareness for what I should be afraid of and what I shouldn't be afraid of, it just completely helped me to to kind of get over some of those things that I was battling with. And I wish that some of you guys would be able to give me some more questions or examples and stuff, so I could like kind of go off of that stuff. So we got Mob. Is that, yeah, Mob? It looks like asking, are you an introvert? Yes, 100% introvert. Like the opposite of an extrovert, completely. I I always need to get away from things and be by myself a lot. Um, I, 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 I think to myself all the time. There's a lot of inner dialogue that happens, which of course everybody has like inner dialogue. But for me, it's definitely like I noticed in a lot of people who are extroverts, a lot of people who are more talkative and outgoing, I realized that there's like a definite difference between me and them because because uh, they would like need to have that social interaction. There's almost this desire to get closer to people, to ask someone else what's going on. They need to like point out things that other people are doing. And for me, it's like I don't care. For me, it's like I don't care what other people are doing. I'll watch. I'll observe. I'll sit back. I'll be by myself. But I'll let everybody do what they want to do, and I won't try to put my own thoughts into it. I won't ask other. I just want to keep to myself. So a lot of other people are more social butterflies. They'll go from one person to the next and talk to them, and they're good. I love extroverted people because they can do what I can't do. But yeah, there's definitely the ability for me to be more extroverted, but as a whole, 100% introvert. So, a way out of loneliness asks, how's work with having no friends? Have you tried making one? The thing about my job at my work is that, um, yeah, I mean, part of my shyness or whether it's social anxiety or whatever it might be, I definitely just stay in my own little world and I don't talk to people. I kind of isolate myself from everybody. And no matter how smart I get, no matter how much I know about what's taking place, no matter how much I can intellectualize and understand the fact that this is what's taking place for me, is that I've got like I've got this kind of personality where I just kind of want to get away from everybody and be by myself, introverted, like I was just talking about. When I'm actually there, when I'm actually on the job, when I'm actually around people, when I have the opportunity to say hi to someone, when I have the opportunity to make a friend or make something happen, no matter how much I study, like what to do, what not to do, I just always end up doing the same thing, which is just not try, just not even do it, just be by myself. Um, and because of that, it's just so hard for me to make friends. Like, so yeah, I don't have friends at work. Um, the people who are more talkative, the people who are more friendly, the people who are more extroverted, the people who go around who are nice, of course, like they'll say hi to me, they'll try to talk to me, but I fail to do a good job at talking back. I fail to do a good job at engaging in those conversations when they take place, and because of that, I think people are kind of like, fuck this guy, Like I remember when I was younger, my dad would tell me like, hey, you're really shy. Like my dad would tell me like, hey, you're really quiet. He'd be like, why don't you talk more to people like when they come over or the neighbors, or why don't you talk more, when I would go to like a family dinner, like why don't you talk to everybody? Why don't you try to make people like you or whatever? And he's like, the way it comes off to everyone else is that you're kind of rude. The way it comes off is that you don't care. The way it comes off is, and I realize that that's how other people might perceive me, as if I don't care about them, um, as if I'm kind of snobbish, or that, when really the truth is not that I don't like people. It's not that I don't care about people. I actually love people. I love being around people. I love wanting to know more about them. I would love to be everyone's friend, but I just don't know how. And then there's also this inner dialogue that's going on, and there's a lot of fear involved, a lot of social anxiety, a lot of things like trust issues, afraid to like be myself around them, not knowing who I am, and that's a big part of it as well. What I've noticed is that a lot of this, for me, what my trouble is my problem that I have is that I've never really discovered myself, in the sense that I've never been able to truly know what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. I wasn't very self-aware. I wasn't very confident. I didn't have a lot of, like if you guys were to ask me right now, like what kind of music I like, what kind of movies I watch, what kind of a person I am, I can't articulate it very well. I can't explain it to you who I am, because I haven't had that much of a life, which is I haven't been really focusing on who like I identify as. I haven't been focusing on what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. So that's what most of conversations are about, about, hey, tell me about yourself. And I can ask other people about what they are like. I can ask other people questions, but it's very hard for me to be myself to others. And I think that's a big part of it. A reason why I'm so nervous is because I'm insecure that people are going to see that. I'm scared that people are going to see how stupid I am. I'm afraid that people are going to see how my life is boring and they won't like me. It's this fear of rejection by others, this fear that they won't accept me, that I will try to be their friend. I swear, it's not like people think like I don't care about others because, they might look at me and think that, they might look at me and feel like I'm rude for not talking to people when I'm really just, kind of socially anxious, I have social anxiety or whatever. Um, but the truth is that what's going on 24/7 when I'm around people, like at a party or group, is that I'm always thinking about how I want to go up to someone and talk to them. But what's going on in my head is there's an inner dialogue that's saying, don't do it, because if you do it, you're going to fail. They're not going to like you. Something else is going to happen. So it's kind of it's difficult to deal with, because like everything in my body is desiring, or I really want to go around and find someone to talk to and be their friend, but it's this issue that they're not gonna like me back. So it's definitely just 100% insecurity that I've always had, and I don't know how to break it. I wish I knew how to just break through. So we live in a society of extroverts. Extroversion is glorified, and that's the problem. I would say, yeah, I mean, that is a big part of it. It's just culture. Like, what is the cultural norm? What is the expectation of the majority of people? And yeah, it is having to do with, hey, that's what you do. We live in a culture where you have to be friendly. You have to be all up in everyone else's business and know what they're doing, and you have to um, be outgoing. If you're not kind of wild and crazy and dynamic in everything that you do, if you're not really talkative, if you're not the social butterfly, there's something wrong with you. So yeah, that's just that's something that I've always had a problem with in my life is that I just I want to be more all up about myself. I want to really care about me and everything. So we got Stefan. Hey Stefan, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by for a minute. Glad to see you here. Um, let's see, we got you don't look like a shy person here. Maybe you're used to it now, but I can't even speak comfortably in front of a camera. It's so weird. Well, I mean, I would, I'm definitely a different person in front of the camera than I am in real life. Um, I've definitely practiced this. Like this is normal for me. Uh, the thing when I meet somebody one on one, when I'm talking to somebody and that a family member or maybe some of the friends that I've made in the past, um, when I trust somebody, when I feel like I'm able to be myself and just share all my thoughts, that's when I'm the most comfortable. It's very easy for me to do that. Um, yeah. Um, so let's see, what do we got? Avoidant personality disorder. It sounds Yeah. We got Stefan saying good to see you. Hey Stefan, thanks for watching. Kieran's back. And then Stefan asks, if you had to give up YouTube or TV and films, what would you give up? Well, you mean like I would definitely rather watch YouTube than watch TV and film. But if it was about whether or not I had to give up doing YouTube and making videos and being online and doing these live streams, I don't know if I could do that. The thing is, like, there's so much content that I don't want to miss out on watching the content, or especially on YouTube. But I think I would be fine without watching any form of entertainment and just find other stuff to do with my life that's outside of media. But I would definitely want to always be doing YouTube as the number one thing. But I'd rather watch YouTube than watch TV, for sure. We got M. uh, I can't read your name. Saying, "Hi Kenneth, I have had the same experiences as you, but I have no fear in going outside or meet one on one." For me, it's kind of a weird thing, with my social anxiety and stuff like that. I'm able to like push myself and challenge myself to be more comfortable around people. I'm able to push myself and challenge myself to, override the fear that goes on in my head. But I can't always do it, and I tend to always go back to the way I've just always been, which is very quiet, just very kept to myself and not really talking to other people, not socializing, not being outgoing, not doing anything. And a lot of it really comes down to the fact that I have nothing to say, right? Like if I felt like, hey, the people that are around me, like they want me to talk to them about the interesting things that I have to say, then I would absolutely be more free and open. But there's this weird thing when I don't know anybody that I got to get to know them first, to trust them before just spewing all of the bullshit that might come out of my mouth. Which is why I'm perfectly fine in front of this camera on YouTube, because I know that everybody watching me, everybody who's on this channel, can kind of relate to me to one level or another, and they trust that they understand what point of view I'm coming from. So I feel like I trust you guys, and I don't have to hide who I am. I don't have to not be myself, and that's really something that I've had to deal with a lot growing up, is just not really able to be myself and not being able to truly be what I want to be in my life. Have I seen Silence Within Me videos? He seems to be in a bad place at the moment. I subscribed to his channel. I watched a few of his videos, but I could definitely tell that he wasn't doing very well recently. I don't know, man. What do you think about that? I really don't. I haven't really watched much of his stuff just because it's harder for me to relate to him. But it's always great to watch other people's videos and see where they're coming from in their life. By the way, Stefan, how is your YouTube channel going? Are you actually stopping for a little while? I don't remember what your last video was, other than the last one I watched was something about YouTube. Um. Okay, let's see, what do we got. So, by the way, there are more people here. And I just want to say to everybody who is watching, thank you so much for joining the stream. I'm doing this live stream right now, so you can say hi to me, so you can ask me questions, so you can talk about yourself, what you're doing, and I would gladly like to get to know you and answer your questions. Uh, I think it's a little odd. He calls himself a comedian in his cover out. I don't think I saw that, but yeah. Mob says silence within me is always in a bad place. Um, Stefan says you'll return one day. Stefan, listen. Now that you're here, I can actually say to you what I want to say to you about your whole YouTube thing. I really hope that you um, don't give up YouTube. I mean, uh, I understand why you wouldn't want to do it. I understand that you might feel like it's not worth it, but like the people who do watch you, they love you. The people who do watch you, they're getting a lot from you. If it's just taking too much time from you, you're not getting enough like payout from it. If it's not as rewarding to you as like you wish it would be or you thought it would be. My opinion about that is that like you know that if you're doing it for like the number of subscribers you have, if you're doing it for how much money it's going to make you. I mean, I don't make any money from this. Like, I don't get any AdSense. I don't know if you do or not, but um I never thought that I was going to even get 2,000 subscribers. So I'm already ahead of where I thought I would be. I kind of set the bar low for myself at the beginning. So I just, I hope that you're going to be okay. I hope that, your veganism videos are some of the most insightful things that I've ever, seen in my life on veganism. So just thought I would share that with you. How old are you, and did you have any friend from high school or college? Um, I am 21 right now. I'm almost 22. I don't have any friends from college. Um, I have a friend from high school who I still see on like I don't know, like every 3, 4, 5 weeks. So like once a month, maybe sometimes twice a month. So you do get paid from AdSense. Yeah, see, I got my AdSense account taken away from me, and I just have to think about either not caring about that part of things, or I have to think about finding a different way to monetize my channel, something like that, whether it's Patreon or whatever. I don't know. But at the moment, it's really just about growing that subscriber base. It's really just about making sure that I build a good relationship between me and the people watching my videos, and it was taken away from me because when I first got the AdSense account, back when I was probably at like frickin' 200 subscribers, I think I must have clicked on my own ads or something else happened. Something triggered the automatic suspension and disabling of the account. I've sent in appeals. It's been 3 years now, and they just don't care. They don't give a shit. They're not on our side to help us. Even with the new YouTube Red, where people um, pay $10 a month, which I'm doing. I love not having ads. um, that has nothing to do with getting paid for ads. That's getting paid out of people's $10 that they give you. They're still not gonna pay me because it has to go through AdSense. So you know what, fuck the money. I don't need it. I'll do this as a hobby. Why? Because I love it. Why? Because I need the attention and because that's what I'm doing it for. I care more about like the messages that I share. I care more about talking on camera and maybe having my points, my opinions, my arguments challenged and my views to help me grow as a person. And I'm doing this because I hope that there's a lot of people watching who are a lot younger than me, who are struggling, and I just know that I can do something good for these people. And I think for you, Stefan, what you really have that other people don't is this love for animals, this understanding of that which nobody else really has, in my opinions. Not a lot of people are on the animal rights side of things, and a lot of people eat meat, and um, it's I think that without your voice, I think that the YouTube community and everyone will be missing out on a very cool person. So we got. Do you think your situation will get worse in the future, or do you have hope? Um, I don't know what you're talking about. but I think that I am gonna get better. I do think so. Um, uh, what is your full time job? My full time job is a stupid job, basically just physical labor crap, and I work at a plant which, um, you know, basically deals with car parts and we paint them and stuff. So I work on like a line, production line, and it's stupid. It's low low wages, barely making enough money to live by myself. But hey, whatever, life is what it is. I dropped out of school. I dropped out of college, so I don't really have any skills for me. I'm not really trying to get any more skills, so I'm just my dad actually has worked in a factory his entire life. My mom didn't graduate from uh, college, I don't think. Nobody in my family history went to university or school. So, I mean, I kind of knew going in that um, I wasn't gonna have the most educated life if I, like the odds were against me because I come from a low income family, but still super just awesome just to live in a country which is doing everything it can to fuck. I'm not gonna defend America. God damn it. I was trying to be like, oh yeah, I live in like really nice country, America, privileged, whatever. But you know what? I don't care. I got shit going for me. All right. Um. Okay. Let's see. My name is I can't read. I'm sorry, guys. I can't read you guys' names. What do you think about MGTOW, men going their own way? What do I think about that? I think it makes sense to me why it's going on, but uh, I mean, if you're caught up in that type of stuff, men going their own way, if you're caught up in the whole what's going on with that, like anti-feminism stuff, if you're caught up in the whole anti-woman relationships, if you're caught up in like, oh, women are bitches and get away from them, I think that you're probably doing yourself more harm than good. But I understand why men going their own way exists. I'm not a part of it at all. But I don't really want to talk about that just because I have no fucking clue what I would say about it. At least I have a job and get to go to work. Yes, absolutely. Trump and Clinton both spell disaster. Yeah, I would say so. I love uh, the whole political thing is just crazy. And again, I don't want to get into all these different topics that I'm terrible at talking about. I have a lot of opinions on it. I certainly have all my opinions on all these topics, whether it's men going their own way, whether it's Trump and Clinton, whether it's American stuff, whether it's religious stuff. I have opinions on all this controversial stuff, but um, I gotta find a better way to like sneak all that stuff into my videos or talk about it in my videos. And like even the whole veganism thing, I got my own opinions on it, but it's just like I don't need to talk about everything. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to like I would rather just talk about the one thing that I feel like I know the most about, which is myself, and my life experience and the things that I struggle with. Like loneliness. It sucks. There's nothing controversial about talking about, hey, depression sucks, loneliness sucks, social anxiety sucks. Um, but if I ever have to start talking about controversial stuff because I care about something passionately, I will. But yeah. By the way, how do you start a live show when only the first few people are there? Do you wait for some people before starting? I mean, like when I first began the live stream, it took probably 5 minutes. I'm 30 minutes into this live stream. It took probably about 5 minutes for the first person to join. But basically, it's like, hey, I just started talking. If you're not gonna post it on your channel, then you don't have to say anything until someone comes on. But for me, I've been starting to post these onto my YouTube channel afterwards. So when people go back to watch it after I upload it, they're not going to sit there and watch the first minute or 2 minutes of me just staring at a screen trying to figure out how to get this stream going. So I just start talking immediately, knowing that like a regular video that someone's watching, and then somebody joins, they say hi, and I say, hey, how's it going? And then they ask a question, and then yeah, I use OBS and a webcam to record it, and then I just go onto the YouTube live stream and I start it up. So basically, as simple as it could be for me. Let's see. Do you think girls with social anxiety have more chance to have a better life than guys with social anxiety? Um, I I don't think about it in terms of girls versus guys. I mean, I don't know. I think that social anxiety for guys, um, can like I would say that I definitely have struggled like when I was in like school, as a teenager, like wanting to like get a girlfriend, talk to a girl, or wanting to you know, have a girl like me or whatever. I was very bad at it, as you can guess. Having no friends, having social anxiety. I mean, I was basically like, this is why when I was that age, I thought of myself as a loser and I hated myself and all that stuff, insecure the fact that, because of the fact that, uh, what was I talking? Oh yeah, the whole like it was very hard for me to like get a girl to talk to me or to talk to a girl and approach them. So there's an element of that in social anxiety, which guys have, and girls can have it too. Afraid to talk to guys that they're attracted to, but I think for guys maybe it's a little bit different, because guys are the ones who are supposed to talk to girls more, and etc. I don't know. It's a complicated thing, because there's different stuff going on. But I wouldn't just label guys and girls as being different when it comes to social anxiety. Social anxiety seems to be pretty much the same in guys or girls. Okay, so we got Holy Macaroni. Have you had any long time relationships? I mean, yeah, I'm in a relationship right now with my girlfriend. We've been together for 4 years. We met in high school. We're still together, and it's going fine, going good. The only girlfriend that I've ever had, the only girl that I've ever had like me or whatever. So it's cool. Um, Stefan saying that you're totally gonna do a live stream in the future. If that's what, if I'm reading your comment, it says I 100% will do a live stream in the future. Okay, I think I'm reading your comment right, Stefan. That's cool. I think you totally should. It's nice because you get to interact with people that watch your videos, and I've gotten to know people. They've become regular people watching. Like I've seen Holy Macaroni before. I've seen a lot of these people, and it's like I get to know them. Like there's a guy, a bunch of different people who I've known. I found out their first names, and it's just cool. Like I get to know these people, and it just helps you build trust with people, develop good relationships. So you're not just some guy behind the camera. You get to answer questions. I hate making just a 10-minute video or like a 5-minute video because I have to stick to the same topic and I can't just let my ideas come out and flow. And this is like the best opportunity to just uh, just get all the crazy stuff that I keep in my head that's constantly running through my head 24/7, questioning different ideas or topics, and it allows me to just freely talk. And I love doing a live stream. So I've been doing this for 33 minutes now. It does kind of take the wind out of me, and sometimes I stumble over what I'm saying. Sometimes I don't make clear points. Sometimes I freeze and I just don't talk for like 20 seconds, and it's kind of awkward. But so we got and yeah, that is cool that me and my girlfriend are still together. Honestly, I don't know what it's like to be in a breakup, and I'm scared of it. And I basically, in my relationship, I tell myself that there is like no opportunity for me to break up with her. Like it's just like the this will work out kind of mentality. And she's a very forgiving person. She's a very caring person. I mean, some people, when you get in a relationship with them, and I'm just talking from observing other people, not from my own experience, because I've only been with one person. But when I watch other people in relationships, it really does seem like some people are very quick at finding something that you're doing wrong. Very easy to just say, "Hey, you're an asshole. Like I'm gonna break up with you." Luckily, my girlfriend, doesn't be like, isn't like, oh hey Kenny, you're an asshole, I'm gonna break up with you, like because I said something rude or at the wrong time, or which I have done that stuff. I've said some fucking stupid shit to my girlfriend that pissed her off and made me look like a complete dick, because that's what I am sometimes. But she's still gonna be with me in spite of the fact that I'm not the best guy to be with. She's been with me through all my depression, breakdowns. I can't talk right. She's been through me with all these emotional outbursts and things, and I she doesn't get it, but she understands it, but she can't relate to it. But she still stays with me through all the stuff. So you got to find the right person who's gonna be willing to stay with you for all your bullcrap that you are like. And if you're just in it for dating, if you're just in it for just to say that you're in a relationship, I mean, yeah, that's not gonna last. But for me, I'm looking for that kind of a long-term relationship. I want to be in a long-term relationship. I want it to work out. I want it to work as long as it can. So that's my mindset going into it, and not everybody has that mindset. In fact, I would say maybe most people don't have that mindset. Most people want to hook up with someone, maybe fool around with them a little bit, and get that over with, and then find someone else, and that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not my cup of tea. Now, if things didn't work out with the girlfriend that I'm with, yeah, maybe I might be like, hey, maybe I'm gonna stop trying to make things work. I'm just gonna try to hook up with people, whatever. How often do I see my girlfriend? Oh yeah, by the way, um, uh, is your girlfriend extroverted or outgoing? Yeah, she's completely like different than me. She's not intro. She's definitely extroverted. She's super friendly. She's super nice, super sweet. She's the kind of person that's gonna try to cook food for you. She's the kind of person that's gonna try to give you presents. She's the kind of person very friendly. If like I am terrible at getting people to like me and talk to people. I'm terrible at being nice and friendly. She is 100% just extroverted. Like that's all I can say. She has great relationships with her family. She, gets she lives with her parents, so I actually don't get to see her all the time. We sometimes go a couple days without seeing each other, a few days without seeing each other, but you know, um, yeah, she'll never like she hasn't uh like we've been together for 4 years, but like the thing that frustrates me a lot is she's not as close to me as I wish she was. Like what the thing that I don't like, and this is probably coming out of my own insecurity, is there are many moments when she chooses to do other things rather than spend time with me. And it makes me question like what her priorities are, and it is something that I'm insecure about. But for the most part, she's a really great girlfriend to have. Your girlfriend already know that you have no friends, right? Was that the first reaction when she found out? Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend knows that I talk about not having friends, but she really doesn't have friends either. But she's really close with her family. Like she hangs out with her parents 24/7. She hangs out with like her grandparents all the time. Like she goes and visits them. She always, she gets along with people at work. Like she's not socially isolated like I am. She talks to people all the time. She doesn't have any like close friends that she goes out and parties with. She doesn't have any like friends her age that she does stuff with. But she's still a social, outgoing person and not quiet and reserved like I am. But we get along great as far as our personality goes. Um, we're definitely different people completely, but it's kind of weird. I can't really explain it. So how did I get to know her? I got to know her from school, from high school. We went to school together. We were on the bowling team together, and it was one of these things where she added me on Facebook, and I we started talking. We messaged each other on Facebook just as friends. She sent me like a random like, "Hey, I just added you on Facebook," and I was like, "Hi," and how's it going? Like, not really sure what to say. And the next thing you know, we started talking more, and it was like, "Hey, do you want to go bowling together?" Because we were on the bowling team, we need to practice. So we went out together. We bowled together, and then um, we got each other's phone numbers and we started talking more. And then I was like, hey, how about you go to a movie with me? We went to a movie together. It was kind of like a date. And then I didn't really think about it. Like, I didn't think, like, oh, I'm dating this girl. I just thought, let's go to the freaking movies together. I wasn't intentionally trying to get her to be in a relationship with me. It just kind of fell into place. And then all of a sudden, it was high school prom, my senior year, and she was like, "Hey, are you going to prom with anybody?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh yeah, me neither." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I didn't think about it, but I realized that she was probably trying to get me to ask her. So then, like a week later, she says, "Hey, prom is in like 3 days. Are you going to everybody?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh, me either." Um, I'm like, "Oh, hey, duh. Hey, how about we go together?" Next thing you know, we're going to prom together, and then we had a great time. I danced with her. It was kind of weird, the whole awkwardness of being in high school and dancing with a girl for the first time. Like, where do I put my hands, on your waist, or what do I do? It was weird being so close to a girl. It's the first time it's ever happened in my life, and I know that this sounds weird, but this is how socially awkward I am. And yeah, so from there it was just obvious that we were gonna be together. So then one day I just got the courage when I went and hung out with her somewhere. I don't remember where. I was like, hey, um, uh, I just straight out asked her. I was like, hey, will you be my girlfriend or whatever? And that's how it started. And little did I know that that one incident, how things naturally progressed, I had no fucking clue that it was gonna be like 4 years later we're still together and we probably aren't even gonna break up at all anytime soon. Stefan, yeah, I'd probably bored you with my stupid relationship story, but bye, Stefan. Thanks for coming. Um, but Carrie saying how often? Okay, I already read that one. How did I approach her? It just kind of happened naturally. Like that's the one thing I found. Like I kept thinking to myself in high school, like, oh, I gotta like approach girls and like randomly, like just walk up to them and introduce myself and then become friends. But I think most of the time you meet people by natural, just circumstances where you're together. Whether so you just got to go where the people are, and once people, the people who are really social and outgoing, unlike me, who's very introverted and isolated from everybody, they actually pull me into the conversations. Like they ask me stuff and I respond, and then that kind of initiates me into social situations. That's the way that I am. I don't start things. I just get into things, and then you meet people, and when you meet people, you can then make friends, or when you meet people, then you can start um, getting a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you want. So, I mean, when it comes to making friends or making relationship partners, I would really say that really what you have to focus on is there's like a step by step kind of approach to it. The first thing is how do you meet people, and that is well if you're in school. That's very, very like the easiest place to meet people is like in school or at work or something. And then it's really a matter of once you've met someone, you got to be around places where there are people at. So if you're an adult and you don't know how to make friends, I mean, think about where do people go to gather. Maybe it's like a thing going on in the city where there's like an event going on. Everybody's brought into there, or maybe it's at a bar, or maybe it's people in your hometown or whatever that I don't know what's going on. Uh, Wherever people go to meet, that's the first thing is going where people are to meet that you have a common interest with. So for me, it's probably not a good idea for me to go to the bar and meet people at the bar because I probably won't get along with everybody at the bar. Not to say that there aren't people that I wouldn't get along with or that I would get along with, but I don't drink, so the person who's at the bar probably likes to drink more than I do, and you got to have some sort of common interest. So I don't know where I would go to meet people that are like me, but once you find that place, then go there. And then it's just a matter of building a relationship. How do you get someone to trust you? Just building a relationship is about understanding the other person, asking questions, telling them about yourself, being honest, not being manipulative, not trying to pull one over on them. Like if you're a guy and you go up to a girl that you really like and you're attracted to her, and you're just thinking about, you know, like the dirty stuff. You're just thinking about that kind of thing. Um, your intentions going into it are very obvious, and they're not just trying to be a good person. It's not just trying to be cool. It's not just about the other person trying to get to know them. It's like about, you got some altered intentions. So yeah. So we got some questions like Sometimes it's easier to talk to girls than guys. Don't know. I found myself easier to talk to them. They're so nice, but I still don't have a girlfriend. I mean, hey, like I hope it happens, but just wait for it and do what you can. I can't give you the secret formula because I keep that to myself. Just kidding. It's not. There isn't anything. Just be yourself. I mean, wait, let it happen, but um, it's not going to happen on its own. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying just wait for it to happen and it'll happen. But you got to do stuff. But don't give up just because it's not there yet. But I don't know. I just I've always been nervous talking to anybody, whether they're a guy or a girl. So how do you overcome social phobia? That is the question. Man, I don't know how to overcome it. One of the things is definitely through um, recognizing the thought patterns that occur, recognizing what you're thinking, recognizing the fear. Like part of it is just self awareness. And what I found is that like cognitive therapy, that kind of idea of examining your own thoughts, how your brain works, what your thinking patterns are, is really going to be the best way to overcome a lot of it. But another thing is just to build confidence. So instead of asking the question, how do you overcome social phobia, try to find the question of how do you build confidence? And maybe if you're more confident in yourself, if you're comfortable with being yourself and who you are, it won't be so difficult because you're not going to be afraid of what other people think about you. You're not going to be so self judgmental, and that can make it easier. Another thing for me, it's not always about hey, like I'm scared to talk to people. For me, a lot of it is for me a lot of the problem is like hey, I don't even know what to do. Like I don't even know how to start a conversation with another person. I don't even know what to do once they start asking me questions. How do you keep a conversation going? How do you maintain it? Like for me, it's like hey, if someone asks me, hey Kenny, how's it going? Oh, good, and then that's it. I don't bring the conversation any further. So a part of the reason why I'm actually okay in front of a camera, why I'm different like on camera than I am in person, is because I've actually spent a lot of time trying to understand what makes a good speech, what makes a good presentation, how do you tell stories, how do you teach something, how do you explain something, and the way that my brain works when it comes to speaking and doing what I'm doing right now is like I kind of have like an internal uh, PowerPoint presentation, and I need to make certain bullet points. So I think, okay, what's the main point that I'm trying to make? What are some side examples? And it's kind of like when you're in school and you learn how to write essays. How I think in my head. So um, when like someone asks me like how am I doing, I instead of like giving that answer, oh I'm doing good, and just walking away from the conversation, I can ask myself, how about instead of just giving them an answer like, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm okay," like, "Hey, mom," like your mom asks you, like, "Hey, how was school?" Like, "Oh, it was good," like, "Well, what did you do?" "Oh, nothing." Like instead of just giving those stupid answers, I tell myself, like, "Hey, instead of doing that, why don't you try to give an interesting story?" And you come into it with the intention of doing something. Um, so if it's like, hey, if I'm going to give an interesting story about something that happened, well, now I gotta know how to tell an interesting story. So if you know how to tell stories good, then it'll work. All right, fuck this. I'm doing a terrible job at explaining. What do you? Gosh, I don't even know how to do this. How to explain all this stuff. So, do I ever go on holiday? I mean, not yes, no. I mean, I don't really know what that question's supposed to mean. Did I consult with a psychologist? Yes, for like a minute, like for a few sessions. Like I had to go in personally to see a psychologist myself, and it helped me a lot, but it didn't help me in certain ways. But yeah. Do I live with my girlfriend? No, I don't. That's one of the problems. Not one of the problems, but that's one of the things about our relationship that I wish would improve is that I don't live with my girlfriend. I wish that she would spend more time with me. She lives with her parents. Um, I live by myself, and it's one of those things where she doesn't even really spend the night ever. She just goes home to her house and sleeps in her bed at her parents' house. Even though we're both 20, she's 20, I'm 21, almost 22. She still just decides that she's not going to, and I don't know why. It's not like she can't. I mean, we've been together for 4 years, but hey, that's her opinion. But yeah, holiday equals vacation. Do you ever go away for a week or so on vacation? Like, do I ever go away? No, I don't have the money to like travel and like go places. So like, no, if that's what you mean, like, I absolutely don't do that. I don't ever go away. Um, do I have siblings? Yes, I have siblings. I have five siblings, but three of them were from my mom's side, and two of them were from my dad's side. Because my mom and dad um, separated right after I was born. Like my mom and dad were dating for a couple of years, and then my mom got pregnant, and then I was born. But in that time when my mom was pregnant, or like right when I was born, my parents just decided that the relationship wasn't going to work out, so they split. And since I was a baby, just grew up with them living in different houses, still really close together, same town, but just different houses. And Anyway, so my dad had so all my siblings are younger than me, and they range from the age of like 11 to about 16. So they're all pretty young compared to me. I'm like older than most of them by like 5 or 10 years. So I just never really grew up having brothers and sisters that I felt close to. Because while I was learning about science and the solar system, and I was going to middle school, and I was learning about reading books, chapter books, and you know, while I was doing that, my siblings were eating baby food and playing with little trucks and toys. So it was really weird for me growing up because I was way ahead of them in everything, and I couldn't talk to them about the things that I wanted to talk to them about because they were too young. And now they're just starting to get into high school age. So yeah. All right, guys. I've been enjoying just the freedom to just spill everything that I'm thinking about right now and answer your guys' questions. Uh, I don't know how entertaining it was to just listen to me talk about like my girlfriend and relationship and stuff. Do I drive? Yes, I drive. I've been driving for a while now. But I don't know how entertaining this has been for you guys. I wish I came more prepared. I wish I had more interesting things to talk about. I wish that I could ask you guys some questions and learn about you guys. But I've just kind of been going with the momentum of what's been going on. And, I feel like I need to take a break right now uh, and stop talking because of just kind of feeling overwhelmed with everything. Do I laugh? No, I do not laugh. I do not have a funny part of my body. I'm a serious person, which is actually kind of true. Um, anyway, I don't know how to answer that. Do I laugh? Um, I love like stand up comedy. I laugh when jokes are made. I laugh when silly things happen, but it's hard for me to like. Yeah, it's kind of weird. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm overthinking like every fucking thing that you guys are asking me. What car do I have? I have a silver Lincoln LS. What's it called? Yeah, a 2005 Lincoln LS. Silver. Um, did I check out the book that you recommended? I didn't get the book. I Googled it for like a second, and then I don't think I saved it anywhere. I didn't really read it or anything, so I hardly look into it. I apologize. I forget what it was called again. I'm bad at remembering names and stuff like that. Um, I think. Shoot, I don't. I can't remember what it was. You got to remind me again. Holy Macaroni says it's been entertaining to watch. Well, I do appreciate that feedback. I just feel like I gotta like stop myself because I'm overthinking like every little thing that I'm saying right now, and my brain's kind of yeah. Oh, the like switch. Um, yeah, that really looked interesting to me. I just I don't really read all the books that I get. Like I've got to this point where I buy all these books and I never end up reading them. But yeah, I did. I thought that is something I if I was to buy it, I should. Let's see what do we got. How do you spend your day if you don't have to work like today? Well, I sit around. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch YouTube, and then I might grab something to eat, and then I watch some more YouTube, and then maybe I do a live stream. Maybe I I record a YouTube video, and if I do that, that gives me something to do. If I don't do that, maybe I watch some more YouTube videos, and then after that, I probably sit down on the couch and watch YouTube a little bit, and that's about all that I do. Like occasionally I see my girlfriend. We don't really do much. Late. I've been going to work on days where I have to work, and that takes up enough time. So when I get home, I'm tired and I don't want to do anything. Uh, yeah. Let me just take a drink of water real quick. My mouth is starting to get dry. I've been talking for an hour straight. This is the part where I usually end the stream. Um, so I'm thinking about ending the stream, but at the same time, I want to keep on talking, but I'm losing my voice. Do I ever watch KSI or CSG? The fact that I don't know what CSG is. Hold on, let me look up CSG. I feel like I might know who that is. KSI, I don't know why I haven't watched any of that person's videos, but is that how you say it? Is that CSG? They're brothers in both YouTube. Pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't watched KSI because I hear a lot about him and I've seen him and he seems like the kind of person who I would watch. Very popular, but I don't know. Like I guess I've just kind of once I get my few subscriptions that I subscribe to, I just uh, I just kind of get obsessed with certain people, and then I just stop watching other people for like a while. Um, that's usually what happens for me. Is like when I really get into something and start watching someone, like I watch them like nonstop for like however long, and then all of a sudden it's like one day they just stop being interesting to me anymore, and then I stop watching them. For example, like there's a few YouTube gamer people like Markiplier that I started watching maybe a year ago, and I got obsessed with him for like a month or two, and then I just stopped watching any of his videos. Um, and then there was like right now I'm obsessed with like Philip DeFranco, and I've been watching all of his videos for like the past month. Like I subscribed to Casey Neistat, and then I watched all of his videos for like months. Like I watched Roman Atwood for like a while, and then I just stopped watching him. I watched Gary Vaynerchuk, who not a lot of you guys will know, but if you're a YouTuber or interested in social media, you'll know him. And then I don't know why he doesn't upload the kind of stuff I want to watch anymore. It's a bit personal though, but have you ever had any suspicion on your girlfriend? The answer to that is yes. I am. I have a. I. That's one of the things that I've had a problem with is my personal insecurity. So I think I don't know when it was. It might have been. I think throughout the whole relationship that I've had with my girlfriend, I've been a little bit too much in terms of what do you call it? Jealous. I've been too jealous a lot in the relationship, and it's been a problem pretty much from the beginning. Luckily, I've gotten a lot better, and for the past year or so, I haven't really been uh, too bad. Like that, if there's any reason for her to like say, "Hey, dude, like you need to stop. If you don't stop this, like I'm gonna break up with you," it'd probably be that thing that I'm a little bit too jealous. That's one of the problems. I actually recorded a video a long time ago. I have it on my desktop, or not my desktop. I have it in one of my folders on my computer ready to upload, but I just never uploaded it. Where I talked about this whole thing that happened one time with my girlfriend, where I got really jealous because all of a sudden she started, while she was hanging out with me, she got a text message from this guy, and I was like, "Who the heck is that guy that you're texting?" And uh, she explained to me it was some friend that she had from high school, and I really like lost it. Like I was like, why is it that like you don't like why is it that I have this sense that you don't talk to anybody, like you don't, like the only person that you text are me and your mom and dad, and that's it. And then all of a sudden I find out that you're texting like your friend from school, and you're texting like these girls that you hung out with in school, and you're texting your teacher, or you're texting. How come like you don't talk to me about this stuff when we have conversations, like when I ask you like what you do during the day, what's going on? And how do I find out like in these weird moments where you come over here and we're hanging out, and then all of a sudden this guy texts you, and I have to find out like this, like do you, I try to explain to her, I'm like, do you understand like how insecure I am, how I struggle with this jealousy, and when something like this happens, like if you don't prepare me for it ahead of time, like I'm gonna probably overreact, which I did overreact in that situation, by the way. I was not, I'm completely admitting like the fact that I kind of fucked up a little bit, but at the same time, there is at the same time, the way that my girlfriend is she doesn't have any really desire to share with me every little detail about her life. Whereas for me, I'm the kind of guy who I want to really share like literally everything that I do. Like if there's any weird little thought that I have, like I want to tell you. If there's any like doubt in my mind of something, like I want to share it with you. If there's any little weird thing that happened to me, there's like I'm like I really like literally have like no friends. So when like my like when like I get a text from somebody like my friend Matt, who I'm currently friends with, kind of, um, I'm like, oh my gosh, guess what? Like Matt texted me. Like that, isn't that cool? Like I hardly ever get to talk to him, like he's talking about maybe wanting to hang out sometime. Like I'm really happy about this. Like, and she's like, oh, that's awesome. She's really supportive of me. So I'm the kind of guy who I have to tell every little thing to her, but she's the kind of person who she doesn't want to share like hardly anything with me. And that is something that bothers me a little bit about our relationship, is that we do not have the same view on that. We don't have the same. We're not on the same page. Like I get really jealous because she chooses to do other things other than hang out with me, when I know that when I feel like she's not hanging out with me enough. And that does come out of insecurity. Like that comes from a complete place of just, for me, like I'm admitting this, like it's coming from a place of insecurity and feeling jealous, and it comes from a place of personal self like frustration. So when I share this with you, I hope that you know that there are definitely things that I've done wrong, and there are definitely, it's not good for me to be a jealous boyfriend, but at the same time, it's good for me to at least have some amount of self awareness and be able to understand the fact that this is how I am. And I've actually been able to really just improve naturally, and as time has progressed, as the relationship has gone on, that I've been able to like recognize when I'm starting to overreact to something. I've been able to recognize when I'm beginning to really feel a lot of self pity, and when I'm starting to like hate everything about my life, and I can stop myself and say, hey, I understand what's going on. I'm starting to feel like there's something wrong with everything. I'm starting to feel like uh, I'm starting to take responsibility for maybe more than I should. Uh, it's just, it's finding that right level of how do I, um, what is the right thing to feel at every given moment. Like sometimes, like there are things that I would think privately that lead me to feel bad about myself. And it's very important to be able to catch those when they happen, to know what's going on. Like, for example, if you don't have any friends and you're sitting there thinking that you're a loser because you have no friends, it's very important to understand that that is what you are thinking, and that uh, that instead of drawing a conclusion that you're a loser, drawing a conclusion that there's something wrong with you, instead of coming to that end result as just because of one thing that's happening in your life, like um, things aren't going so well for you, it doesn't mean like you can have one thing be true but not lead you to feeling bad about yourself. And that's something that I struggle with a lot in my life, is dealing with that. Like oh man, um like for example, like I'm very self-conscious of a lot of things about me. So if I um if I look at myself in the mirror and I think that I look ugly, um it's very important to like recognize like that's just an illusion. That's just a perception. That there's no truth in that. It's just a belief. And that if I begin thinking like, oh, because I'm ugly, no one's gonna like me, no one's gonna want to be my friend, my girlfriend's gonna break up with me, um, what's gonna happen uh, is I'm gonna live my whole life feeling negatively about myself. And what I've been able to do is separate these these thoughts that I have from my actual like self identity, from the way that I actually feel about myself, and that's important to do. Um, and to recognize that some things that you think privately in your own head are not true, and that they have no basis in reality, and that they're just simply a matter of perception. And it's also good just to work on like understanding your attitude, like in every situation, understanding maybe things that make you afraid, understanding what things make you uncomfortable, and then pushing the bound. Like if it's something which you're afraid to do something, and or maybe it's something that makes you uncomfortable to do, understanding where your comfort zone is, and then being able to challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone, pushing the boundaries, that's like a very very groundbreaking thing to do. It's one of the essential parts and components of self-improvement, is being able to take a risk at different situations in your life, and step outside of your comfort zone and overcome fear. um, I'm not saying like, hey, it's easy to do. I'm not saying that I know how to do it. I don't have any tips for you other than saying that, hey, just think about where you can do that in your life. And that's something that you have to think about for yourself. I can't tell you what your life is like and what you should do in your life at any given moment, but I can tell you that these are the things that you should be thinking about, is asking yourself what thoughts you have that are limiting to your own betterment, to making yourself a better person. What things are you thinking about which are just negative perceptions? What things are contributing to an attitude which is not going to help you thrive in the world today? What things are you doing that are bad habits that you should maybe stop doing or maybe change them? Uh, think outside of the box when it comes to your habits, when it comes to your daily routine. Think outside the box. And it does help to see other people, like looking at what other people do and say, oh man, look at that guy. He's outside running every single day. He's really in shape. He has a good, he can run like a mile or 2 miles or kilometers, whatever you measure your running distances in, right? Like, um, for me, it's like, hey, why don't I start going running? Why don't I run more? You know, um, uh, that might be a good new habit to start. Or hey, maybe I should stop drinking soda, which I have a bad habit with. Like that's one of the habits that I have, which is hard to break. I need that carbonated drink, that beverage. It's just soda. I drink a lot of Coke and Pepsi and stuff. Um, so I mean, some of these things, it's very important that the most important part of this is that what you do first is that you really think about it. You ask yourself, what things am I doing all the time? What are my habits? What am I thinking about all the time? Like, what are the running thoughts that are going through my head 24/7 during the day? When something happens, you have to ask yourself, what are the conclusions that I jump to? Um, uh, and what does that mean to my life? And just being more self aware. This is how you. I mean, I would say this self reflection is really the most essential thing in self awareness. I mean, this is how you start building self awareness and start understanding where you're at in your life right now. And once you know where you are today in your life, what you think all the time, what your habits are, what you believe, then you can start making changes. Then you can start improving yourself and stuff. And I just hope that you guys all make an effort to live your life better and differently and grow. Um, I can say that there's a lot of things that I need to improve on. Like I'm very aware of the fact that I'm not doing much with my life. I'm not doing much in my life, and if I wanted to, I could use that idea, which is, oh yeah, I live a boring life. I don't do anything with my time, uh, and say, oh, that makes my life suck. That means I'm a bad person in my life, or like I'm failing to make my life good. And that would make me very depressed to think that because I'm not doing anything with my time, just sitting around watching YouTube videos all the time, that my life somehow is awful. And if I jump to that conclusion, all of a sudden it's just gonna make me unhappy. So instead of doing that, I can say, well, yeah, I don't do much with my time, but the wonderful thing about not doing much with my time is that now I have more free time to start doing things that I want to do if I choose to. And I think about it as a positive instead of a negative. And so when people talk about positive thinking, I mean that's really something you should do, is because negative thinking just leads you to self hatred and depression, and it contributes to just feeding into the bad cycle of things, and it'll only make your life worse. So human beings are social. We need someone to live with. What do you think? I would say, yeah. I mean, like there has to be some sort of social element to life. Some people are fine being by themselves without the social interaction, but there is something healthy about it. Um, and I think if you're unhappy, if you're depressed, if you're sad, at any point in your life, if you feel empty inside, um, being around people, feeling included, feeling good, will build self esteem, will give your life better meaning. But if you're able to find that you don't get affected by being lonely a lot, then it's definitely not necessarily required that you hang out with people. It's not necessary to be social, but for a lot of people who struggle with the way that they feel about themselves, who aren't getting enough enjoyment out of their life, then yeah, more social stuff is good. We do need to be social. It's to me, it's really based on excuse me, it's really based on the individual. Starting to get kind of hiccups, burping a little bit too. Um, When you were in high school, did you feel like you needed to find a girlfriend? I feel like if I don't find one, I'm never gonna find one. Yeah, I mean, I kept thinking I used to have crushes on girls in high school like all the time, and I would kind of obsess over girls and always think about like how I could introduce myself to girls I didn't know, and how I could get them to like me. And I was really fascinated with that. I mean, it's just natural, right? Like if you're not good if you like, some people are just socially mature, and for me, I wasn't skilled in any way socially. I was really socially awkward. I was shy, quiet, didn't know how to talk to people that well, and so because of that, I was really fascinated with it more. More, I had to really intellectualize and think about it mentally, like how to do stuff that were so simple and basic to people that understood it naturally. The best way to learn anything is to just do it. Is to learn through experience rather than thinking about it. So that's why a lot of times people are just afraid to fail. They're afraid that, hey, what if I ask a girl to date me, to get into a relationship or whatever, and uh, and she says no. There's this fear of rejection. I think the best way to get over that is just to do it and get rejected one time. The best way to get over it is to when you go through something that's painful, when you have to suffer a little bit through failure, it just builds you up. So the next time, it's not gonna be a problem. So that's why I talk about like step out of your comfort zone, do things that are challenging for yourself, Because yeah, a lot of times you're gonna fail. But if you look at every single failure that you have in your life as if you look at that failure as uh, okay, it's time to give up. I'm not going to try this ever again. Then if you do that, you will be missing out on the potential for growth, the potential for becoming a better person. So I would say don't look at failure in a negative way. Don't look at it as something that makes you a loser or anything. Uh, Everything is just a learning experience. You can learn from other people. You can learn from your own life experience. So that's just kind of my thoughts on that. Have I watched any Joseph Canta videos? I have no idea who that is. So no. Uh, uh I'll have to look into him. Um, I'll type that in real quick just so I can remember to look that up after I do the live stream. Okay. So how are you guys doing though? How's your guys' life? Is there anything that is going on that you wanna share? Do I ever think about immigration to other countries like Germany or Austria or Japan where people are more introverted? I mean, I feel like my life would better be served where I grew up here in the US. Um, I feel like, you know, I think there would be a tremendous amount of change and, again, learning experience to go to a different country. But that also brings, um, the challenge of having to adapt to a new situation. And, to me, it's not a terrible thing to live where I live. So I'm just gonna stay here just because it's simple. But yeah, I mean, I've thought about like I would love to just be able to travel around the world, possibly live somewhere else. If I had to choose one place to stay and live, it would just be here where I grew up. But I would definitely rather be the kind of person who had the kind of money where I could just go wherever I wanted to go at any time and travel to every single country and just not have to stay in one place. I would rather not stay in one place. My country was recently ranked to the fourth hardest country to make friends. I didn't know that they actually ranked countries based on the difficulty to make friends, but that's an interesting thing. What country are you from? I don't think I know. So that sounds interesting. Yeah, I mean, hey, where is everybody from? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably from Europe because I'm streaming earlier in the day. Norway, that sounds cool. I would love to go to one of those countries over that way. We got Canada, we got Norway. That's cool. Indonesia, that's cool as well. I'm from America, and it's midnight over there. Cool. Yeah, it's only 2 p.m. here, right? So just early afternoon. Um, here in the U.S., like there's not a lot of discussion about other countries. It's um, so the thing is like the internet, has really, watching people vlog on YouTube has allowed me to kind of get a little taste of what people's lives are like in other places around the world, even within the U.S. I don't even know what the heck the United States is like in, like New York or Los Angeles, because it's that in itself to me is actually still foreign, just because I'm from a really small town. So for me to even think about going to a different country, it would be, that's even a bigger step for me than just moving to a different place in the U.S. I am in the state of Michigan in the U.S. Um, for those of you guys who are wondering. What is my favorite movie? I don't know. I really don't have favorite movies at all. I watch stuff, I like it, and I just move on to the next thing. I don't really keep a tally of what's my favorite or not favorite. I enjoy it while it's in front of me. That's how I am with a lot of things. Same thing for music. Don't ask me about music. Uh, um, if you guys want, I mean, we could still talk about like what countries you guys are from and like what it's like there. But yeah, feel free to share with me anything. Uh, did you ever watch porn? So yeah, I mean, I can really get into this topic quite a bit. I've gotten into it before. Have I ever been to New York? No, I haven't been to New York. I've always believed Japan has more introverted people than any other country. Yeah, Japan probably does have a lot of introverted people. I think a lot of it is culture. Like that's all cultural based. All that is built up. Um, uh, uh, it, in I think it's possible that people who are introverted can be extroverted, but they're just not because that's just how their mind is. Um, uh, I mean, I don't know how much of everything is, you know, the whole nature versus nurture argument. Like, I don't know if we're born as introverts or if it's developed through life experience and just kind of, since you've always been a certain way, it's just harder to break that way of thinking. And maybe is it just a way of thinking or is it a other? I don't know. Like, I really haven't looked into it that much, but 25% of Japanese men are virgins. I don't know what that's to do with anything, but probably makes sense. And it's more conservative than Germany. All right. Well, I appreciate all of you guys throwing in those things. Helps me learn about stuff. Um, do you guys want me to talk about? Do you want me to talk about the whole porn thing or no? Because I have a lot of stuff I can talk about that. If you guys wanted me to, which I should mention right now that I'm an and uh, hour and 22 minutes here. And I'm telling you, this is one of the longer live streams that I've done, and my voice is starting to I'm starting to lose it. Starting to oh, just knocked my computer a little bit. Sorry guys. Um okay. So I think I've talked about this before, but like I've definitely had my struggle with an addiction to it. What I found was especially that when I was depressed, I got really depressed around the time that I was moving from high school to trying to look at college and universities and stuff. And I was about 18, I would say, um, when things really started. I mean, I started watching porn probably when I was 12 or 13, and I found internet porn when I was that young, and so yeah, I mean, I've always grown up watching it and being a little bit addicted to it, and it just became normal. And I think that's the thing about it is, if it becomes normal, it becomes a habit and a habit which is very hard to break because it's a physical desire to do it. How often do I live stream? Um, I live stream just randomly whenever I feel like it. Um, it seems like lately I've been doing it about once a week, but it's literally just something that I decide at the last minute that I'm going to do a live stream. So you're just gonna have to catch it when it happens. If you can, you can. If you can't, then sorry that you couldn't do it. But I will probably upload these to my channel afterwards. So um, you can probably watch some of them if you wanted to afterward. I don't know why you would want to watch it, but sometimes they can be interesting, I guess. Um, so how did I break the addiction? It kind of just. I, I mean, I think one of the reasons. Well, first of all, it was very difficult um, to kind of like I've because I've always been watching porn since I was probably 12 or 13, like I said, but it became a problem when I was getting depressed. I dropped out of college and I was living with my mom. I was staying in her basement. Um, and I didn't. I dropped out of college and I lived with my mom, and I decided that I wasn't gonna go out and get a job. So I was literally just spending all day like in my room, sleeping or being depressed and just like watching videos and like not doing anything. And it was one of these things where I realized that like the more time, the more free time I have to do whatever I want to do, it's gonna like um it's gonna um it's so easy just to go on the computer and click a button and just instantly there you go, you got porn right in front of you. So so what I found was that being depressed, living with my mom, not having a job, um, it's just so easy for me to just watch it like every single day. And I had a huge problem with it. So like the more I filled my life with new things, the more I just found like less time to like it just started I just didn't think about it. It just became a thing where like I would go through so many days without watching porn, and I would all of a sudden be like, "Oh my gosh, I just realized like I just haven't watched porn in like a really long time." And then when I think about it, I'm like, "Oh, now I'm going to go watch porn because I just realized that." So it's kind of a weird thing. Um so I still watch porn every so often, but it's definitely not an addiction. But I think the problem with it is that it does build unrealistic ideas of what sex is like and everything. So, um, all right, I am really uh, getting a little bit tired right now, kind of speaking for an hour and a half straight. Have I ever been to Canada since I live in Michigan? No, I haven't been to Canada, but I'm hoping that I will get to travel to Canada at some point. I'm really close to like Toronto area, so I thought maybe going there. Um, so I was talking about doing something like that this year, but I never have. Uh, what are my views about religion? It's kind of funny you say that because I was actually going to upload a video today or tomorrow about belief in God, but I kind of decided that I wasn't going to do that because I had to take more time to think about it and maybe what I would say in the video. But my views about religion is that it has its problems. There's some problems with religion. Um, People that get extremely narrow-minded and using religion as a reason to do things to other people, or using religion as a reason to hate others. I don't like that aspect of it. I'm definitely a person who's highly interested in the mysticism, the symbolism, the spirituality of religion. But I the video that I was gonna make today was on the question of do you believe in God, and I actually recorded it already. I have it ready to upload. I'm not sure if I want to upload it but basically what I was talking about was that I don't like that question. Do you believe in God? Because I feel like it's a loaded question. Um, I feel like everyone has their own interpretation. Everyone has their own idea of what God is. So, for example, if you say, "Do you believe in God?" and I say, "Yes, I believe in God," this is just a hypothetical situation. And then you're an atheist, and you say to me, "Oh, you believe in God, so you believe in an old man in the sky who has a magic wand and he can do everything he wants." And I'm like, "Well, that's not what I meant when I said I believe in God. That's just hypothetical." Um, for example, some people believe that God is this entity, this deity um, that does all the good things for the world, but isn't responsible for all the tragedies. So the thing that people who are against religion and who don't believe in God will argue um, is saying, well, how do you explain all of the pain and suffering and tragedies that happen in the world? So for me, I had to take that into account when I think about God, when I think about whether or not I believe in God. And by the way, I grew up a Christian. Like I grew up 100% of my life going to church and um, believing in God and reading the Bible um, and being really involved in that 100%. It took me a while, but I got into it. I never felt comfortable going to church growing up as a Christian. Just kind of going because my parents made me go. My dad is actually still actively involved in the church, but I just stopped going to church. At the age of 18, I started really getting into listening to atheist speakers giving talks on atheism and making their case against religion and God, and I really became, and I didn't want to. Like I didn't want to at all. Like coming from a person who, like I said, I believe in God, I was really disgusted and like going crazy at some of the things that these people were saying who are atheists, and it was not easy for me to listen to it, but listening to different views has only made me a better person. It's only given me more room for personal growth, for developing a more better worldview. So I don't want to be controversial in this, but I hate the question, "Do you believe in God?" Because it not that none of you guys really asked that. I mean, you asked if I was an atheist or agnostic, but I would say I'm closer to an agnostic, but I still don't even. I don't like to label myself as an atheist, agnostic, or theist. I don't like to label myself as anything. Um, but I don't know how I would really label myself. I would say I really take a lot from a lot of the uh, uh, Eastern tradition of religion. I take a lot from the spirituality aspect of that, just from the view. My live stream is starting to fuck up, and I'm the quality of it's starting to get worse. So I'm gonna have to end it soon. But I mean, I would love to talk about this more, but I really don't have the most educated and intellectual views on this subject. But it's still something that I'm fascinated with, and I would love to just take more time to think about it. I like to study the historical. Um, I like to study the historical philosophers who wrote about their belief in God or wrote about their uh, non-belief in God. Um, I like to like understand what they mean by it because like if we don't know what we mean when we talk about God, it's very hard for us to all have a conversation. If everybody, here's my question: how can we ask the question, "Do you believe in God?" when every single individual person has a different interpretation, a different perception of what God means. Even atheists have like a different have an understanding of what a God is or what God means. How can we then ask each other whether we believe in that or not when there is no it to believe? Like if you're a Christian and you ask me, "Do you believe in God?" and I say yes, then you think I believe in the same God that you do. But how do you know that I believe in the same God that you do? How do you know I don't believe in something different? So it's a loaded question when you ask somebody whether they believe in God or not, and I have a problem with it. But I also don't know what I believe because I've been listening to his. I just my view on this is really that hey, you have to do what you can for yourself to explore all the different views, and learning about what the other people believe is only going to help you develop a more sophisticated, well-rounded view of the world. And if you just simply believe in what your peers believe in who agree with you, you're not doing yourself any favor for growing that understanding at all. And that's kind of my attitude. My attitude is more about how do you treat other people who have different views than you. I'm more concerned with that than I am what you actually believe. And I'm more concerned about how you come to the conclusion that you come to. I'm more concerned with that than I am what it actually is. So in many ways, I'm actually indifferent. In many ways, I actually could care less about the topic whatsoever. But I definitely don't. But in some ways, I do. All right, I'm just confusing the fuck out of a lot of people, and the video quality is unfortunately going awful. I had something in my eye, and all of you guys were very nice, and all of you guys were very helpful in making this live stream go very well. I feel completely tired now from just talking for this long. I feel my brain is like dead. Um, but I'm gonna go rest for a little while, recharge. So thank you for watching, guys. I am glad you were here, and I will see you in my next video.